This is the Continuum Lab. I'm Jeppe, musician, maker and your host on this visit. Today my bamboo arrived. I'm not sure that I'm completely convinced by the quality of the pieces that I received, but I'm going to let you tag along as I inspect the pieces and then measure and cut out the sections that will eventually turn into open horns. So to do this we need to head down into the main workshop, which is the only place where I can fit and work with these large pieces of bamboo. But first, a short disclaimer.
The continuum has no end and no beginning. It represents the sum total of all knowledge, stretching from the unnoticeably small and to the incomprehensibly vast. So the Continuum Lab is not really a physical space at all. I think of it as a state of mind, like a mental leap of faith from the comfortable platform of the known and into the infinite ignorance, where learning is the only method of propulsion. Welcome to the Continuum Lab.
So here we are now in the main workshop area of the Continuum Lab, although full disclosure, this is actually a space that I'm borrowing from a friend because it's much more spacious than the Continuum Lab itself, and these pieces of bamboo are almost 3 meters long, so this is much more practical for me. So the first thing that I need to do here is thoroughly inspect all of these pieces of bamboo. There's 8 pieces in total, 5 pieces of leopard spotted bamboo and 3 pieces of black bamboo. And what I'm looking for first and foremost, of course, are cracks and scratches. So if I find any cracks or scratches on any of these sections, then that section is automatically discarded. So once I finish that, then I go through them again and I look for the most aesthetically pleasing sections. And of course the size, as in what sections will fit an open horn and how does it make sense to cut them. So let's get to it. So looking at this piece here, first piece I'm inspecting, it does not look good. I don't know if you can see that in camera, but there's a lot of markings on here. So this is the kind of mark that I'm talking about. It does appear serious. Is it a scratch? Is it a stain? What is it? So these actually come right off with a little bit of heat. So let me show you how to do that. So as I mentioned, what you need for this operation is heat. So what I've done here is I've just put some alcohol into a stainless steel container. I'm just raising it off of the wood here so that I don't heat it up too much and burn the wood. And so I just light this alcohol up, and there's our source of heat. So let me just locate again this weird scratchy stainy thingy that we have right here. So I'm going for this thing right here. I hope you can see. Suspend it over the flames. A short little moment. Again. And it's gone. So that's one thing that I really need to keep an eye out for as I inspect these pieces, that some of the markings are indeed permanent, the deep scratches, which will lead to me discarding the sections that they're on. But some other markings will come right off with the technique that I just showed you. So I'm going to stop talking now and get to work. So for now I'm honestly a little bit disappointed here. I've looked over 4 of these pieces and so far at least one of them has 0 useful sections on there. They're simply full of scratches and cracks. And between the other 3 I think I found 3, possibly 4 useful sections for making open horns. But you know, I'll keep going. Let's see what I can find. Okay, so things are looking up. I'm checking out piece number 6 here, and there's a bunch of very nice sections on this, so it's not a complete waste. Let's keep going. that's the basic inspection, all taken care of. As I mentioned, I was a little disappointed while working through these first pieces of bamboo because they're just not in very good shape. Take this piece for example. Each piece of tape that's stuck to it represents an unforgivable flaw, such as a crack in the material or a deep scratch that I won't be able to clean off or get rid of in any kind of way. So this piece here, for instance, is basically useless as far as this project is concerned, because it doesn't have a single section which is of a high enough quality to be used in an open horn. I ran into similar problems with all of the other pieces of leopard spotted bamboo, although I was able to locate a couple of sections which might be good enough for an open horn. We shall see when I cut them out and clean them up. The black bamboo, on the other hand, was of an excellent quality. Check out this piece here in particular, which is almost flawless. Single piece of tape stuck to it down here where it had a little scratch. But so the black bamboo has a lot of very nice sections on there that I can definitely use to make some awesome open horns. So it seems like this batch of open horns is going to be mostly black bamboo, and then a little bit of leopard spotted as well, if I can make it work. The next step in the process is to measure out some suitable lengths of bamboo from the nicer sections on these pieces here. So that basically means one of two things. We can select a piece of bamboo with 2 notes and a single space in between them, where I need to be able to fit all of the keys as well as the belly section of the ohms. The belly section measures 23 centimeters in its current state, so I'm looking for pieces that are basically 24 centimeters and above between the notes. So the other option is a larger piece which has 3 notes and 2 spaces in between them, where I will then be able to fit one hand's keys in one space, the other hand's keys in another space, and then split the belly section into 2 separate sections as well. And this gives me much more flexibility as far as the size of the individual sections. They can be larger than this, they can be quite a bit smaller than this. I need a total of about 12 centimeters in between the notes, so that gives quite a lot of freedom. So let's have a look at it. I managed to measure out 12 lengths of bamboo, which are a suitable size and note configuration for an open horn. I've marked them on here with some tape. So the next thing I do is I cut all these pieces out, and then I thoroughly clean them individually, looking for any other little imperfections or blemishes that might have been hiding from me earlier. So I might still discard some of these pieces, but I think 12 is a pretty good number to start with. So let's get cutting. The cool thing about this workshop that I've borrowed for the day is that it comes with tools included. So this saw here is going to make a really short work of those lengths of bamboo. So yeah, looking pretty good so far. I have all 12 pieces cut out without any major incidents. All I have to do now is clean them all off so I can see exactly what I'm dealing with, and it may be any of the pieces are not quite up to standards. So I'll just mention one thing before I get started on that. That the sizes of these pieces here are not quite what I had expected. The leopard spotted bamboo turned out to be a little bit thicker than the order I had made. This, such as life when you're dealing with organic materials. Instead of maybe 3 to 4 centimeters, so like 35 to 45 millimeters. So all of the pieces are bigger than the current open horn prototype. This one is the thinnest piece, it's the one that's closest to the current prototype in size, but it's quite a bit longer. While this here is the shortest piece, closest to the current prototype in length, still a little bit longer and quite a bit thicker. So enough about that, let's get cleaning. So I just realized something after going at this for a while and cleaning these 2 pieces here, which look awesome by the way, that I forgot something essential. Before you start heating up bamboo, then it's very important to perforate the nodes so that you don't get a pressure vessel in here where the air will heat up and expand and eventually crack the bamboo, or worst case like blow up in your face and kill you and whatever. So I'm just going to do that, make some quick holes in all these nodes here with a screwdriver, and then I can get back to cleaning. And I'm done. All 12 pieces are now nice and clean, and as you can see, there's some very interesting pieces here. This leopard spotted bamboo with large spots, and some of the black bamboo has very nice patterns on it. I'm done in the workshop for today, so I'm going to take all of these pieces back up to the lab and have a closer look at them. So see you there. I'm back in the lab. That was a lot of work, but it was worth it. I managed to get quite a few pieces of very nice bamboo out of that shipment, even though things did look a little bit dark there for a while. So one thing that does concern me is that all of these pieces are kind of big. I mean, I was hoping to get at least one piece the same size as the current open horn prototype, which is what I do consider the default size for an open horn. It's also the smallest size where I can kind of fit all of the components inside easily, and also it just makes for a really nice little compact instrument. Unfortunately, all of the sections that were specifically this size in the bamboo that I received were damaged in some way or another with scratches and cracks and what have you. So for now I'm stuck with sizes that range from slightly larger than the current prototype and up to quite substantially larger, such as this one. And maybe that's okay. I need to just take a little time now to consider my options, look at these pieces here individually and decide whether or not I'm happy with the selection that I have, or if maybe I should order a couple of extra pieces of the smaller size bamboo to try to obtain some sections that are specifically this size here. So I don't know what I'm going to decide, but as soon as I do, you will be the first to know. So check back in for the next video as the build continues and I work tirelessly towards making a whole new batch of open horns. See you soon.